Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Woodworking by Edgar. And this is part 6 of rebuilding my old wooden rowboat. And I will show you how to put on the gunnels and put the new dashboard in, and also epoxying the front deck of my rowboat. I finished my last video telling you about putting the outer gunnels on and putting tape in the inside. So this is what that transom looks like now. And I'll zoom in on that D where I did that patch. That's what it looks like at this point. Hardly as visible when you just look at it. I'm going to trim off this gunnel which sticks out here. There, that's nice and flush now. Just sanding down and it will be good. I'm starting to work on an inner gunnel that will go around the boat on the inside like so. And in order to do that, I'm going to cut out these frames here. I have the frame marked here where I think I want it. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I'm going to cut these notches out. I'll do that with my Japanese saw. This is just a scrap piece of that gunnel, so that's going to fit in like that there. So I'm just fitting this inner gunnel here to fit this piece to the transom. I'll just take a piece of wood like this and we'll mark these angles. These cuts, a lot of them in boat building, are pretty complex angles, and sometimes it's easier just to hand cut them right in place. So that's the fit for that piece at this point. So yesterday I glued up all the inner gunnels, and I also went around and did some epoxy. I also did these epoxy fillets here on the sides of the frames. That will attach the frame to the bottom and strengthen that joint on all of the frames. I also filled the dashboard here where there was some rot, so that that strengthens that piece up again. Fitting a new dashboard today and finishing up doing some of this epoxying in the bottom, in the inside bottom of the boat. I am now going to start making a new dashboard. I'm going to use this old one as a pattern. It looks like it fits fairly decent. The one end on the port side of the boat is pretty well rotted out, so I will be just replacing this dashboard at this point. So I'm just going to use this old dashboard as a pattern for my new one. It fits pretty good on this side here. This side, it's pretty well missing. So I will make something up that will somewhat match this side to come up with something that will hopefully fit in there. So here I am now cutting out the dashboard and then fitting it into place. It takes several times fitting and putting it in and out for it to finally fit properly. I'm just going to show you a technique I use to get something to fit a little bit closer. So here there is a spot where I would like to fit closer here, but it's hitting up here. So I'm just going to take my multi-tool and run it through here a few times, and it will take some of this off here in order to get that to fit closer. So I made several passes through here, but I won't bore you with just showing you all of that fitting, but I am taking off about a blade width of that multi-tool every time that I go through. And after you go through several times, things start fitting much better. So now that fits pretty close all the way down through. So then now I am planing off the top of the dashboard to make it so that it follows the round of the deck that's on the front. Doing a project like this, there are always many mundane processes that need to be done, such as just sanding and also keeping the work area clean, vacuuming, and those are things maybe I don't usually show, but they are things that need to be done. Originally, when I was thinking about doing this boat, I had hoped to save the old dashboard, but I have built a new one, and I just thought I would explain maybe the reason why I did that. As you can see here, I did a lot of filling and repair work on this backboard that was behind the dashboard. The dashboard also had a spot in it where it was rotten and was just not good. But I had considered taking this backboard out and replacing it, but it is fastened down through here pretty good, and I thought if I would take that board out, I would probably damage some of this top. As you can see, some of this top is, even at this point, is pretty fragile in this area here. And I will do more filling once I have the dashboard on, so that then that will all be hardened back up again. But also right in this area here is where a lot of the old boat meets the new boat. And so I kind of wanted to have something that had some structural integrity that would tie this together at this spot. The bottom, there is the frame that goes here and ties everything together. At the top, there's not much here that's structural. So this dashboard will actually become a structural piece that will hold the top together at this point and to keep it from spreading apart. I also, at this place here, have my scarf joints. Right there is a scarf joint that holds these gunnels together. And so there just is a lot of things that come together at this spot. So it just seemed to make sense to have something that was structurally sound that would hold that top together. So this is the new dashboard fitted in. Wanted to show it to you before I started epoxying. And this is the way the top has, that little top deck has ended up looking. I think it's going to look pretty nice to keep that clear. Most of this board through here has ended up pretty good, except for there's this area here and then another area right at that end that needs to be still filled. The rest, actually, everything fits pretty nice and looks good. So I have epoxied that dashboard in and also gave the top of that deck a coat of epoxy. I will be putting some fiberglass cloth on top of that deck, so I will be mixing more epoxy and setting that fiberglass cloth in epoxy. So this is where I'm at now. I'm real pleased with the way that that front deck has come out, and it will definitely convey that this is part of an old boat. And even though the rest of the boat will look fairly new, and once I paint the sides, it probably will all match in between the new and the old. But that top deck will always look like part of the old boat. Thank you for watching my videos and hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.